Hello class 10 children. As you all know, we have started database management system in part B, subject specific skills. So I've already told you about data and information, about database and about database management system. Now yesterday I had started about relational database management system. Now relational, as the name suggests, relational database management system is a database management system that is based on the relational model. It was given by E.F. Codd. Now relational here refers that the data in your RDBMS is represented in the form of tables, and these tables are linked to each other. Now the purpose of this relational model is to provide a method for specifying the data and queries. Users directly state what information the database contains and what information they want from it. And then they let the database management system software take care of describing the data structure by answering the various queries in structured query language. Now I'll just explain you about this RDBMS and various other database concepts today. So database contains objects that are used for storing and managing the data at one place. For example, we have a table. The name of the table is address book. Now in this address book, you will be having people's address, their phone number, their date of birth. So all these people, they will be representing an item. So an item is what the database is storing the information about. In this table address book, the person is an item because you are storing the information about person. Now next comes the field or column. Now when you are recording information in your address book, what do you ask the people? Their address, their phone number. So these are known as your fields or columns. That means, so in a table, the column or the field will be there, which will be asking the people's address, phone number and date of birth. So in address book table, these address, phone number and date of birth will be representing the column or field. Now next is a row or a record. Now when you are storing information about each person, suppose the first person is A, you store his address, you store his phone number and you store his date of birth. So that will be row or record. Similarly, you store other person's address, phone number and date of birth. That will be another row of the table address book. And similarly, you can add more persons to this address book and store information about their address, phone number and date of birth. So children, this address book is here representing a table. Each person with whose information you are storing is representing an item. Then you have columns or fields, which are, you write at the top of the table, address, phone number and date of birth, and row or record, you fill the entries in the table. Now taking one more example, that a database can not only have one table, because data is very huge. In an organization or in a bank, there is lots of data. So a database can have one or more tables. An address book is an example of a simple table. A company would have its database, a big company. It can have its database. In it, there can be many tables. One table for product information, one table for supplier information, one table for customer details, one for receiving the orders. So these are the different tables that can be maintained in a big organization. So we can say a database is basically a container that holds the tables and other objects and then manages all them. Now another very important thing to remember is record uniqueness. As I told you yesterday also, suppose there is a student table. Now in the student table, you have the following records: name, class, and section. Now, uniqueness helps us to avoid accidental duplication of records caused by the user. This can be achieved by using some other number or value that uniquely identifies a record. If such a unique value does not exist, then you can create a special additional field in a table where unique numbers can be assigned. So for example, I was just having a student table with name, class, and section. There were two children with the same name, Ram. They had the same class and the same section. And the third child was Ravi with the same class but section different. Now what I do to make this table recognizable, I introduce a field there or column there. Its name is roll number. So roll number, what it will be doing now, since two people can have the same name but they cannot have the same roll number, so here your roll number is a unique field which is added to this table so that it becomes easy for us to maintain the data in the table, in the database. So here roll number will be acting as a primary key. 1, 2, 3, both Ram, the students, they have the same name but their roll numbers are different, which will help us identify these students. So an additional field, roll number, has been introduced that is responsible for record uniqueness. So children, today you have studied about relational database management system in detail, about what are tables and how the data is stored in them, plus about record uniqueness, that in order to maintain the data properly in a database, you need to maintain a uniqueness in the records. So that is all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.